Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming here today. It's an honor to see so many friends of Placentia here at beautiful Alta Vista Country Club. We're lucky to have this beautiful view and the country club. Today, we're highlighting the city's progress and accomplishments over the last year, but I'm also going to discuss upcoming developments and projects. For 20 years, Placentia had very little development, and in the last 3 years, we've got the right team together and the right city council, and we're seeing a lot of projects that are proposed and under construction. I want to express my sincere appreciation to the Chamber of Commerce for hosting the event and for Placentia Linda Hospital for being the title sponsor. I was wondering if the baby was going to come up here. I think one of my kids did that last time I spoke. I'd also like to thank especially my family, my wife Leonie is over there with our baby Evangeline, my son Finn, and my daughters Elise and Morgan. Leonie and I this month celebrated our 18-year anniversary, and I literally couldn't do what I do without her support and the support of my family, and my Aunt Mona is here also. Before I begin my presentation, we have a short introductory video that'll introduce some of the projects that I'm going to talk about in more depth later. So enjoy that, and I'll be right back. Since I'm sure you all love listening to politicians talk as much as I do, I figured the video would give you a little respite from having to hear more of it. In 2015, I delivered my first State of the City address, and it's amazing the difference from then to now. At that time, I discussed the farmers market, a couple new small businesses, and some residential developments. We didn't have anything near the scale of development that we've got or investment into the city. One of the more exciting projects is what you saw earlier, Placentia Linda. That project is going to just increase the amount of medical services we have available to people in Placentia and the surrounding communities, and it's really an honor for us to have such an amazing facility. If you haven't been there, and hopefully you haven't, unfortunately, my family's been there several times, some of my kids more than once, and it's always been the emergency room. Once during a council meeting, I came home and found that my mother-in-law was in the emergency room. So that was fun. But Placentia Linda Hospital does a great job, and they're a top-class hospital. So it's really an honor to have them here. Over the past 3 years, Placentia has adopted 2 major master plans and entitled hundreds of millions of dollars worth of development projects. We've also established a unified city council and have got a new staff. And all together, we're working to make Placentia a better and more pleasant place to live. Last year, the City of Placentia adopted a transit-oriented development amendment to the zoning code. TOD is kind of the new thing in California. The state really likes to push transit-oriented development. These are facilities, projects, and developments that are close to transit and that allow people to essentially live without a car. So there's retail and commercial services along with residential and then transportation. So for us, this surrounds what will be a future Metrolink station. The Packinghouse District Plan is part of the TOD. It's a one-of-a-kind destination near the Old Town area, and it includes a mixture of housing, office, retail, and other amenities that are integrated into a walkable neighborhood located within a short distance from the Metrolink station. So this area basically extends all the way to the 57 freeway. In the past, some of those sites, I tried to pick the gnarliest pictures of existing conditions that we could find. I think you saw some of those. But several of these sites have had interesting uses like storage of porta potties and things like that. So they were definitely not the types of uses that a city would like to see. In that area, what we call a catalyst development is essentially the first development. This is the first developer that's going to go into an area and risk their assets to put money into it and build a project. Lion Living is the catalyst development in the TOD. It's located on the site of the former Boys and Girls Club and Excalibur Extrusions. That site was previously owned by Kathy and Glenn Baldwin, and so they've participated in this. And this particular project is called the Herald. The Herald is Lion Living's 215-unit luxury apartment building. And next month, the City Council and Lion Living will be hosting a groundbreaking to commemorate the start of construction on this project. Since it is the Catalyst project, it's aptly named because in Old English, a herald is an official messenger who announces important news. We don't really use it now, but this was the guy that came from the king into an area and gave all the important news. So this is the first development in the new TOD, and I strongly believe that it's the perfect kickoff to a vibrant and successful TOD area. You can see we have nothing even remotely like this in Placentia and have never really had anything planned previously. The second TOD project is located east of the 57 freeway on Crowther. This butts right up to Tyler Lighting and the 57 freeway, and this is Blackwood Real Estate's project. Gillard's right there. They're one of our sponsors. It was announced as Centerpoint, and you'll see Centerpoint on there, but we don't exactly have a name for it yet. This is going to be 418 luxury apartment units and approximately 10,500 square feet of retail. Blackwood was able to combine 6 separate parcels, and these were some of the more difficult parcels, the ones with the porta potties and pallet storage and things like that. It really looked like something out of The Hills Have Eyes, quite frankly. Blackwood was able to put these parcels together and come up with a development that offers all of the amenities that the city wants. So this is also going to be a project that's visible from the 57 freeway. So people that are traveling on the 57 freeway will be able to see this. They'll also be able to see the Lion Living project, but it's a little farther away. And they'll notice that Placentia is really an up-and-coming city. where especially in the past when you would have driven by and seen nothing, it would have just been dark at night. Now there's going to be signage, there's going to be activity, and they'll be able to see the actual building. So I'm really excited about this project. On the site that we call the Packinghouse, it's currently vacant, but people in the past there was a Packinghouse there, and that's what it's known as. It's right there between Melrose and Bradford. It's currently a vacant site, and the city is working with USA Properties, which is a private developer. So we'd be entering into an exclusive negotiating agreement with USA Properties to build 131 high-quality rental units, and it will have retail space on the corner to serve Metrolink riders and local residents. And this site's unique in that it will have direct private pathway to the Metrolink South platform. So you see where it butts right up to the railroad. That'll give the people that live there direct access to the rail line. So the negotiated lease agreement will come to the City Council in October. In this area, we've also adopted a Streetscape master plan. High-quality infrastructure is a hallmark of safe and attractive cities, and over the last year, the city's committed valuable resources to the Streetscape master plan in an effort to ensure that the TOD and Old Town areas are improved in a functional and attractive manner. So this would completely redo the way the streets down in the Old Town area and the TOD look. You'd see bike lanes, you'd see improved seating, landscaping, signage. And one of the things I think is interesting if you've ever been to cities that have this is what's called wayfaring signs. These are signs that tell people where to go. So if you get off the freeway, it'll show you where the Old Town area is, where the TOD area is, and where parking area is. I was just down in San Pedro recently and was able to find parking in a pretty sketchy area because they had signs, which kind of got me out of the area I didn't want to be in and into decent parking. So that was actually an idea from Damien. It's a great idea, and we've got some really nice designs for that. City staff's currently in the process of pursuing a state grant, and if that grant's awarded, it'll fund a majority of the public infrastructure improvements in the Old Town area, including the Streetscape master plan. And that would include paving new streets, expanding sidewalks, bike lanes, upgraded streetlights and benches, and improved landscaping. So this is a holistic improvement of the streetscape. Overall, the Metrolink station, the parking improvements, and the enhanced development opportunities will really boost Placentia's future and our local economy. Another interesting public-private partnership that the city's entered into is with Galaxy Oil. You may have seen this site. It's across from Sam's Club on Placentia Avenue. It's a brand new gas station. This is city-owned property, and it's on the southeast corner of Crowther and Placentia Avenue. So we entered into an agreement with Galaxy Oil where the city owns the land. It's a 10-year agreement, and Galaxy Oil built, operates, and maintains the self-service 76 gas station. This gas station is estimated to generate $25,000 in base rent and $200,000 to $350,000 annually in revenue. This revenue will go into the general fund, and it's ongoing as long as this agreement's in effect. The station opened in November, and we encourage everyone to buy their gas at the Galaxy Placentia gas station. So I do it. If you do it too, it'll help the city. A big thing for cities as far as generating revenue is hotels. People think of stores and other things like that, but hotels are great for cities. And Placentia only has 2 right now. They're tucked away on Placentia Avenue, and most people don't know they're there. But these are great revenue generators for cities, and we're lucky to be between Disneyland and Cal State Fullerton and medical services like Placentia Linda. Those are 3 big drivers for hotels. And the city's got a transit occupancy tax of 10%. So when people come and stay in hotels, that tax is part of the bill. Anaheim's is 15%. And the Orangethorpe exit off the 57 is only 2 exits away from Ball, which is where you'd get off to go to Disneyland. So for people coming from out of town to go to Disneyland, this is a less expensive option, and it's still close to Disneyland. We currently own a parcel on Placentia Avenue adjacent to the 57 freeway. This is where the old Office Max used to be. It's currently vacant, and it does have an existing digital billboard. So we've entered into an agreement with Fine Hospitality Group, and they're proposing to develop a Spring Hill Suites by Marriott. This is a 5-story hotel that will have approximately 57,000 square feet with 107 rooms, 109 parking spaces, a pool, patio, conference room, barbecue area, and a self-serve breakfast area. They'll also have a fitness center, and the city is expected to receive transit occupancy tax revenue of $400,000 per year. That's a huge amount. This is also ongoing general fund revenue. In the past, I had spoken against the city counting things like one-time revenues into the budget. These projects are ongoing revenues. Another proposed hotel development site's on the corner of Orangethorpe and Placentia Avenue. This is the former Premier Chrysler Jeep or Donaví Jeep dealership. This site's being rezoned and could be up to a 7-story full-service hotel. This is the optimum site for hotels to service Cal State Fullerton and Disneyland. And the city's been working closely with the property owner to market the site to hotel developers, and we've received quite a bit of interest. Another project that's a long time coming is Sierra Vista Shopping Center. This is at the southeast corner of Placentia and Baston Cherry. Years ago, I don't even remember how many, probably 10 years ago, there used to be a Vons there. So for people that have lived here a long time, you'll remember that. That site's been vacant, the Vons site, for quite a while, and we've got grocery outlet coming into the city. So you can see on this animation that in the shopping center, the owner is going to fill the site of the former Vons, and they're also going to upgrade the center, including architectural upgrades to the building facade, landscaping, parking lot striping and repaving, new trash enclosures, and the replacement of the outdoor dining area. And they'll add a new sign. So don't remember exactly where it is here, but you'll see there. They're going to change really the whole thing. So they're going to bring it into the modern age, and it'll look like the kind of development that the city wants. Another upgrade project is what we call Placentia Village Plaza. This is the old El Torito site on the southeast corner of Cramer and Yorba Linda Boulevard in the town center part of Placentia. The property owners of Placentia Village Plaza are working with the city to demolish the former El Torito building and develop a new commercial multi-tenant building. The proposed tenants are a Starbucks drive-thru, Chipotle, and Five Guys. So the building will look like that. Again, it's modern, it's high-quality construction and design, and I always liked the El Torito building, but it is in bad shape, and that business isn't there anymore. So we're going to get something new and modern and good-looking. The city's planning staff and the Housing Community and Economic Development Committee have worked diligently with this developer to make sure that the design looks good, that's what you'll see from the street, and that it fits with that corner. So there will be some outside dining there and some water features. A residential development that also has outside dining is SC Development, which is at Rose and Alta Vista. And the City Council recently approved this development 2 City Council meetings ago. This includes 10,000 square feet of commercial development right on the corner of Rose and Alta Vista. And it has 54 single-family detached homes. We worked really hard with the developer to create a pedestrian-friendly, open design concept that encourages outdoor dining with a walkway from the new homes directly to the commercial center. One of the things we've heard from the public is that people wanted dining, but they wanted outdoor dining. There are places to eat in Placentia, but people couldn't go and sit outside and eat like they could in other cities. So this site will allow people to do that, and also allow the homes that are there, the people to just literally walk through their neighborhood without having to go out and around. The site's been vacant as long as I can remember, and this project fills the commercial needs that were identified in 2 separate economic studies. It will also provide a buffer for residents by placing new homes against the existing residential boundary. One of the problems for existing homes when you put a commercial site in is you have delivery trucks backing up early in the morning, beep, 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 and you've got a lot of activity. In this case, the existing homes will have the new houses up against them, then there will be a parking lot, and then you'll have the commercial space. So the Housing Community and Economic Development Committee spent, again, many hours working with staff and the developer to ensure that the design, layout, materials, and amenities were of the highest quality and would be an improvement for the city and provide an economic benefit. Another residential development that's in the preliminary stages is a 110-unit condominium development by Olson. I call this one the spaceship because I always think of a spaceship with flames kind of coming out of those vents on the right. I think I kind of ruined staff's perspective of the site with that analogy. This is going to be a 110-unit condominium development at 455 South Van Buren Street. This site consists of 5.7 acres just south of Orangethorpe. The current site is in poor condition and has been a wrecking yard with multiple unsightly, noisy, and dirty uses. If you drive by there now, you'll see wrecked cars and all sorts of machinery that looks like it's been there for a very long time. It's probably all rusted together. The proposed development includes a gated master plan community with 6 different floor plans featuring walking paths, a dog park, a tot lot, and Mediterranean-influenced architecture. Directly south of this site is an industrial development called Panettone. I think panettone is an Italian cookie. I could be wrong, but it sounds like it to me. This isn't a cookie manufacturer. This project is really interesting because the site is half in Anaheim and half in Placentia. So it's going to be 4 industrial buildings, 2 in Placentia and 2 in Anaheim. It's comprised of 10 acres, and if you're familiar with that area, for as long as I can remember, it's always been strawberry fields. So these new buildings will go up there. Like I said, 2 buildings will be in Anaheim and the other 2 are in Placentia, and this development is expected to be completed in early of next year. In the same neighborhood is the Habitat for Humanity project. The city partnered with Habitat for Humanity to build 2 single-family, affordable, income-restricted homes at 1617 Oak Street. That's the groundbreaking there. These homes feature craftsman design, incorporating lap and shingle style siding, roof eave corbels, stone veneer columns, and concrete tile roofing. We've already got families that have moved into these, and these are occupied. Previously, this site had been a body shop and paint shop with several issues and complaints from surrounding residents. So we're happy now to have people living there and have an improved lot. Further east is Veterans Village. The city is taking the lead on state-of-the-art permanent supportive housing for homeless or disabled military veterans. We partnered with the County of Orange, Mercy Housing California, and New Directions to plan, design, construct, and administer the Placentia Veterans Village. So again, this will be for homeless and disabled veterans. It will be near Orangethorpe and Lakeview. This site was previously inaccessible. There was a small dirt road that ran along the railroad tracks between these parcels, which were wrecking yards and vacant lots. And that dirt road, the only time I ever went on it was after it rained. I'd go with my 4x4 with my kids, and we'd drive through the mud puddles and get mud all over the car. Other than that, it was basically unusable for the most part. When the overpass went in at Lakeview, there was a new road put in, and it made several of these parcels that were previously inaccessible, it made them usable. Some of the property was owned by the county, and so we worked with County Flood Control and the County of Orange to make this project happen. And this project was approved in the first round of TCAC financing for affordable housing. The groundbreaking ceremony is expected to be held in November, and construction should begin in December on this project. Another big deal, which is hard to show here, but for a city and for developers and for businesses, is the general plan. I want to say 8 years ago, I was on the General Plan Update Committee, and we had one meeting, and the city just ran out of money. General plan updates are very expensive and time-consuming, and ours is terribly outdated. In order to protect our quality of life and enhance the future economic potential, updating the general plan tells developers and property owners and anybody else what the city would like to see in a particular zone or on a particular parcel. So updating this will promote a market-driven economic development, and it'll support sustainability and let people know what they can do with properties and what the city wants. So that's key to ensuring that people can come in and understand where the city's at. If your general plan is 30 years old and is clearly outdated, it's very difficult for people to know what to expect, and it's unlikely that businesses will want to invest in a community. So it sounds lame, but it's actually a big deal. Another way that Placentia makes use of opportunities is in applying for grant funding. Our staff's been great here, especially City Administrator Damian Arula. And over the past year, the city successfully received millions of dollars in grant funding from the state or federal governments. This is money that is basically free. Doesn't come from us. It may have a match, but this is essentially free money. One project that I personally spearheaded was our partnership with Colette's Children's Homes. There's their logo. Colette's focuses on homeless women and children, and they moved into Placentia and have helped clean up one of the streets that was probably most in need of it, cleaned up properties that had been neglected for years. We partnered up with Colette and won a $2 million grant from the state of California's community-based transitional housing program. We also worked with several North Orange County cities to receive collectively $20 million from the Board of State and Community Corrections under the Corrections Planning Program for the North Orange County Public Safety Task Force. And this is aimed at addressing youth violence prevention, homeless outreach, and reentry offenders. So this grant basically helps us prevent future problems and help fix problems that we've currently got. Lastly, we worked with St. Jude Medical Center to fund playground rubberized surfacing repairs at Cramer Memorial Park and McFadden Park. And this is a grant amount of $31,000. At the staff level, I'm happy to announce that the City Council has worked very hard to hire the best staff. And I think in recognition of that, it seems like the rest of the world appreciates who we've hired. Our newest city administrator, Damian Arula, right here, received the City Manager of the Year award from the Association of California Cities. This was a particularly impressive award because this is Damian's first job as a city manager. So, first job, he gets City Manager of the Year. I personally supported his promotion to that position, so I'll take a little bit of credit for picking a good guy. But the residents have embraced Damian with open arms, and his community-focused styles dramatically improved relations between the city administrator's office, the city council, staff, residents, and businesses. And part of the reason we've got development coming into the city is because people feel comfortable with the city council and the staff, and they're led by Damian. We're also proud of our police department. Placentia is one of the few cities to have our own police department. And this year, Placentia Police Officer Daniel Rodriguez was recognized as Officer of the Year in Auto Theft Recoveries for 2017. He recovered 10 vehicles last year, with 2 of them being occupied. So these are stolen vehicles with bad guys in them. Police Officer Rodriguez was recognized for his hard work at the 28th Annual Orange County Auto Theft Advisory Committee Vehicle Theft Recovery Officer of the Year Awards in May. Along the public safety line, the next award was for Battalion 2 Fire Captain Chuck Hawkins. He received the 2018 Firefighter of the Year from the Orange County Fire Authority. Captain Hawkins was presented this highly distinguished award at the OCFA's 10th Annual Best and Bravest Awards Dinner in February. This particular award was actually for all of OCFA. Different battalions can have their own, own nominee for the year. All of the battalions nominated him, so our guy won the whole OCFA award. And lastly, the city was recently presented with an award of merit by the American Planning Association in the category of urban design. This prestigious award was presented to the city for the Old Town Placentia Revitalization Plan, some of which was the Streetscape Master Plan that you saw earlier. That plan was adopted by the City Council in 2017. So we're very, very proud of our staff in bringing recognition to the city, and mostly for doing a good job. Before I begin my closing remarks, I want to share with you 2 very important communication tools that we recently implemented in the city. The first one has a funny name, but it's called Nixle. This system allows the city to alert residents in real time about critical emergency information and relevant community advisories. So this is the system that will either give you an automated call or a text telling you when something's happening. If you want to sign up, you can take out your phones and simply text 92870 to 888-777. You'll receive a confirmation text message, and once you approve it, you'll sign up. If any of you are signed up and have gotten too many texts, they actually are working out the bugs so that they're more relevant. But this is similar to an Amber Alert, but it's localized. So this can be really, really helpful as a communication tool, and there's really almost nothing else out there like this. One tool that Councilmember Yamaguchi really spearheaded and worked with staff on is the iPlacentia app. This is a mobile app that empowers citizens to report non-emergency issues such as potholes, streetlight outages, or anything else. So you can literally take a picture of a problem, it'll geotag the picture, and you can send it to the city through the app. That's something that we haven't had before, and some cities have got it. Our staff worked with the company that makes these apps and have actually improved it for all of the cities that use this particular company's app. So having a young council member who understands technology like Jeremy does is probably a pain in the butt for the staff and for the company that made the app, but it's really developed into a great app. It's very usable, it works well, and the information that people need is right there. So before I begin my closing remarks, I have a big announcement to make. This will be the first time people have heard about this, but I'm proud to announce that we have a new luxury car dealership coming to town. If any of you are familiar with the site across from Fairway Ford, it used to be a Volkswagen dealer years and years ago. When I was in high school, the senior prank would be to go steal the big Volkswagen Rabbit and put it in the quad at Troy. That property has been vacant for years. It looked like the set for a horror movie for a long time. Councilmember Yamaguchi and I went in there and looked around one time, and it was pretty scary. It's been demolished, but it's still vacant and taking up important space in the city. It's an eyesore, and we're happy to announce that Penske Audi has officially closed escrow on this site and will be providing plans to the city within the next month. We're excited about this opportunity. Yeah, this is going to clean up the site, but it's also going to bring a lot of revenue. So you can see the new style Audi dealership. Having an Audi dealership there also has kind of a cross-fertilization for Fairway Ford across the street. When you can get multiple dealers next to each other, there's a synergy there that you don't have with just one dealer. So we're really, really happy to have Penske come. They're a big name, they're a well-managed company, and we're glad that they've got the confidence to come to Placentia. So in closing, Placentia has a rich heritage and a bright future. This is the motto that we chose. And moving forward, we'll continue to walk neighborhoods, conduct community meetings, and maintain an open-door policy for people. It's why on major decisions, I make sure that we're always gathering feedback from our residents, businesses, and our commissions and committees. Along those lines, I'd like to give thanks to the rest of the City Council, the Mayor Pro Tem, City Manager, the city staff, and our commissioners and committee members. Commissioners and committee members are not paid, and many of them put in a lot of hours working on complex issues, Planning Commission, Traffic Safety Commission. They've got their agendas can be as long as City Council's agendas can be, and these people do it merely to support the city. Their role supports the council and allows us to make decisions like you've seen up here, streetscape master plans, general plan updates, and that manifests in the developments that you're seeing. So when I look at Placentia in 2019, I see a city with a strong foundation and sound finances. We're in a much better place than we have been in the past. We've got more than $500 million of investment in the city. That's a huge number for a city that's 6 square miles, that's largely built out. So the city's got a great future, and I'm very happy to be the mayor. I thank you all for being here today and for attending the State of the City for 2018. Thank you very much.